Hi there and welcome to Chair Yoga. I'm excited about class today. We're going to be looking at plank as one of our postures. And with plank, we are going to be putting some weight onto the chair. So you really want a sturdy chair today. You want something that is not going to be moving. So if you have a yoga mat to put under your chair, I would recommend that, or a carpet, but you do not want your chair to be sliding and shifting around. So I want to mention that. And also, just like all of my videos, because they're recordings, I don't play music from my end. That way, if you watch this again and again, you can play whatever music you might want to. And so feel free to pause the video to put some music on. And then also, you can take live chair and mat yoga classes with me on Zoom in community each week. And information can be found in the description of this video as well as at the end of this video and on my website at caseycarrollyoga.com. All right, let's get started. We'll begin our class today by finding the right seat. And the way we do that is you can make two fists and put those in between your knees, and that way you've got your knees hip width apart. You want to be in the middle of the chair, not too far forward or too far back. You'll notice when you're in the middle, your spine will kind of naturally lengthen. And then imagine a string pulling you to the sky from the top of your head. Open your heart. Shoulders can come up and back and down. Hands can be resting on your thighs, just gently resting. Feet are planted on the ground or your mat. Sit bones are resting on the chair, really feeling supported by your chair. Taking a deep breath. Just arriving here. This is our seated mountain posture or Tadasana. And then I invite you to close your eyes. We'll kind of shift our focus and awareness away from the outside world and let's go in for just a moment. If it's more comfortable for you to have your eyes open, you're more than welcome to keep them open, or maybe they're at a soft gaze looking down towards your nose. Just start to notice your natural breath, kind of how you're arriving naturally here today. Maybe noticing if there's any texture to your breath. Is it smooth? Does it maybe have some rough edges today? Wherever you are is perfect. And then we'll begin to gently lengthen the inhale and lengthen the exhale just a little bit. And if you'd like to set an intention for class, now would be a good time. On your next exhale, really breathe into the belly. I'm going to get us prepared for a breathing exercise in just a moment here. And then on your next inhale, inhale into the ribs and expand the ribs. Just notice what that feels like. And then on your next inhale, inhale all the way into the chest. Really broaden your chest, open the heart. Exhale it all out. We're going to do a breathwork exercise called Dirga breath or complete breath, where we're going to take our inhale and we're going to inhale into three parts. We're going to inhale into the belly and then the ribs and then into the chest. And we're going to do one long exhale. But before we do that, let's go ahead and start to gently find movement in the body, coming back to the room, coming back together. Maybe you're starting to wiggle your fingers and toes. If your eyes were closed, maybe they're fluttering open gently. And then maybe the movements are getting bigger. Any intuitive movement that might feel good to you right now. When you close your eyes like that, if they were closed, and you focus on your breath and your internal world, when we come back, you might notice that colors are a little different, that things look a little different, that you feel a little different. So starting class like that can be a nice way to shift to arriving here. So we'll do this complete breath together. So I'll demonstrate first. If you want to have one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest, I recommend that. So like I mentioned, we're going to take this inhale into 3 parts. So you're not going to inhale all the way in. You're going to do it in 3 parts. So go ahead and let's inhale together, just regular inhale, exhale together, and then now inhale just a little bit into the belly. Inhale more into the ribs, open the ribs, and then inhale everything else you can into the chest, opening the heart. And now one long exhale. Now your inhale can be through your nose and exhaling through the mouth. It feels really nice, but you can do whatever variation works best for you. So let's do that a few more times and we'll do it together. So let's inhale, just a regular inhale again together. Nice exhale. And now sip in some air into the belly. Sip in more air into the ribs. Sip in more air into the chest, opening the chest. Exhale, one long exhale. Inhale just a little bit into the belly. Inhale more into the ribs. And inhale everything else you have into the chest. Exhale, one long breath. One more. Inhale into the belly. Expand that into the ribs. Inhale the rest, all you can, into the chest. One long exhale. And we'll come back to our regular seat center here. Maybe just checking in to see if the body feels a little different now. Maybe your breath is a little deeper. And this is a breath you can take off the chair or mat and do at any time. I highly recommend it. So now let's start to move the body. So we'll start with our neck and we'll just do some gentle neck rolls to one side. And then switch directions. And the next time you're at center, we'll come back to our Tadasana and we'll just move into the shoulders. Just some nice gentle rolls. You can make these as big as you want or as small as you want. Maybe even your arms are getting into it. Just really waking up the body. And then switching directions. Remembering to breathe here. And now let's warm up the ankles and the wrists. So you can have your arms out straight in front of you. Just start doing some wrist rolls, and then you can have your legs out in front of you and just start rolling the ankles. And then switch directions. That's great. And now let's add breath with movement. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale the arms up, and then we're going to exhale to the side. That lower hand can hold onto the chair if you'd like. Inhaling up, exhaling to the opposite side, making sure that opposite sit bone stays on the chair. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Let's do a couple more of these on your own. See if when you bend over the next time, can you bend over just a little more, maybe even gazing under your arm to the sky. And then the next time you're at center, we'll come back to our foundation posture, our mountain posture. And we'll start to do some cat-cows and really get into the torso here. So I'm going to sit profile so you can see me. So we've got our long, tall spine, bringing back that string coming through the crown of your head, pulling you to the sky. Taking a breath here. And for cow, we're going to lift the heart, arch the back, lift the chin to the sky. For cat, we're going to curve the back over, chin to chest, belly into spine. And then we're going to come up, chin and chest to sky. And then down, chin to chest, belly into spine. And adding breath here. So inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Just a couple more of these on your own. Maybe even seeing if the breath can lead rather than the body. And the next time you're at center, we'll take a breath here. And we'll go ahead and stand. We're going to do some forward fold, little Virabhadrasana 3 or Warrior 3. And we're going to do plank today as well. So what we'll do first is just get your chair into a position that will be really supportive for you. So you want the seat side towards you. And take your time getting there. When you are in front of your chair, you'll be about a foot's distance. Really spread the toes as wide as you can and root down into all four corners of the feet. You can have soft knees here. They can be slightly bent. And then go ahead and place your hands on your hips. Remember that long, tall spine. And then we're going to hinge forward with a flat back and then finding the chair with our hands. Now, right now, you're probably feeling some sensation in the back of the legs, and I want you to do whatever's comfortable for you today. This might be enough for you. You might even want to pedal out your legs. I tend to have really tight legs, so this is a very loud posture for me. I like movement here. If you want to go a little further here, you can start to bend the elbows just to whatever's comfortable for you. If you want to go to a third option, you can take your forearms to the chair, maybe clasping the hands. Again, movement is fine here if you want to bend and straighten the legs. And I want to play with breath here for just a second. So I want you to imagine your next inhale, the breath is going into your legs and exhaling out of the legs. So we're breathing into the body, not just our lungs. Really bringing breath in and out of the legs here, just on your own time. And when you're ready, we'll come back up to that forward fold. So if your forearms were down, you'll come back up to your hands here. And now we're going to go to Virabhadrasana 3 or Warrior 3. So option 1 is to take your right foot behind you with a straight leg and just to tap the tiptoe onto the mat. Option 2 is to flex that back foot and raise it to the sky. Now this front hip might want to come out towards the front of the room, but go ahead, close that hip so both hips are square. And then we'll come down with that foot, and we'll do this on the other side. So option 1 is to take that tiptoe and straight leg to the back. Option 2 is to flex that foot and raise the leg to the sky. Open the heart, lift the chest, lift the chin, be engaged here in the full body. Squaring those hips. And then when you're ready, bring that foot back down. I mentioned at the beginning of class that you want a really sturdy chair. You don't want it to slide at all because we're going to be doing plank today and we're going to be putting weight on the chair. So for example, this is our plank posture here. So the last thing you want is your chair to be sliding. So make sure that you have a really sturdy chair and sturdy space. So the best way to get into plank is to start with downward dog. So we're just going to take a few steps back. We're grounded into the chair with our hands, all four corners, and then just slowly slide the hips back towards the side of the room behind you. This might also have a really strong sensation in the backs of the legs. Feel free to bend and straighten the legs. When you're ready for plank here, go ahead and start to bring the shoulders over the wrists, come onto your tippy toes and slide forward. Wrists are underneath the shoulders, so if you're finding that you're too close, you can just shimmy the feet just back a little bit. So you're in one long line. Take a couple breaths here. And then if you want, come back to downward dog. Take a breath here, breathing in and out of the backs of the legs. And then go back to plank if you want. So onto those tippy toes, sliding forward. Really enjoying the intensity for as long as you can, seeing how strong your body is, even if it's shaking. And then come back to downward dog here, and then we'll just walk our feet back towards the chair so we're in our forward fold. So go ahead and put your hands back on the hips with a flat back and come up to stand. And then let's come into Tadasana again, noticing your natural breath here. And then we'll come to a seat and we'll start to wind down our practice. So just take your seat where you had it at the beginning of class. And we've been moving the body a lot. So if there's any intuitive movement that maybe you want to do right now, feel free to do that. Torso circles can be kind of nice. Maybe even some wave movement, just whatever feels good to you. So also with plank, let's give our arms a little love right now. So let's stretch these. So just take your left arm in front of the body, just gently press it towards you. Just getting a nice stretch, really dropping the shoulders away from the ears too to get a nice stretch in the back shoulder. And then we'll do the opposite side. And then we can do just a couple circles here, just really opening up the shoulders. And then when you're ready, take your time, but we'll go to a seated twist. So you'll take your left foot into the center. You'll cross your right leg over. Take your right arm onto the chair or hand, and then inhale your left arm up to the sky. Exhale to the outside of your leg. Press your arm into your leg and your leg into your arm. Inhale to a long, tall spine, and then exhale to look over your right shoulder. One more breath here. And then we'll come back to center, taking your right foot to the center, crossing your left leg over, taking your left hand onto the chair, inhaling that right arm up, exhaling it to the outside of your leg. Again, pressing your hand into your leg and your leg into your hand. Inhale, long, tall spine. Exhale to twist to look over your left shoulder. One more breath here. And then we'll come back to center and we'll just squeeze the knees in one at a time. This might be your opportunity today to give yourself a hug, so take it. It's not often that we get to do that. Although we could do it at any moment. And then let's find our way into Shavasana, which is our final resting posture, and when we receive the juiciness of our practice and really start to feel the benefits of everything that we've done, all the space that we've made. So what you'll do is you'll come all the way back to the back of your chair and really rest on the chair, melt into the chair. Palms can be up or down on your legs, whatever's comfortable. And now I invite you to close your eyes if that feels good to you, or you can have them open, maybe in a soft gaze. On your next exhale, maybe just releasing any tension in the body. And if you had an intention in class, maybe thinking of that one more time and asking yourself if maybe that intention can go with you outside of class too, after you leave here and go into the world. And then when you're ready, we'll start to come back to the room. And just like we transitioned into class, we'll transition out of class now. So making any movement with the body that might feel good. Maybe it starts out small and gets bigger. If the eyes were closed, maybe they open. Any movement that feels good. And I want to thank you so much for being here today, because you could have been anywhere and you chose to be here connecting with your body and your mind and your breath. And I hope you enjoyed that breath practice of really breathing into the body. And just like everything we do here, you can take that off of the chair and mat too, which I highly recommend. So make sure to check out more videos on this channel and also join me for a live class in community on Zoom. And you can find out more information in the description of this video and in the image after this video. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here to practice, and I hope to see you soon.